in supporting present and future programming, whether it's paying for uplinking and airtime or buying and maintaining our equipment. Since our viewers are what make up SVN, we welcome any suggestions and requests for programming that they would like to see on the air, since it is a viewers network. We would like to thank all of those who have contributed thus far. The following is a list of our largest contributors: Gary Franks of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma; Irvine and Marge Himmel of Rayland, Ohio; Mr. and Mrs. Glenn Salisbury of Marion, New York; Floyd Blasingame of Shreveport, Louisiana; Paul Widmore of Las Animas, Colorado; William Hopper of Magron, Wisconsin; Lawrence Teller of Staten Island, New York; George Harsh of Cliff, New Mexico; and Timothy Rogers of Elmhurst, Illinois. If you would like to send in your personal programming grant, please make your check payable to the Satellite Viewers Network, and you can send it to the Satellite Viewers Network, care of Network Productions, 262 Old New Brunswick Road, Piscataway, New Jersey, 08054. Or, if you'd like, you can give us a call at 201-562-0080. And thank you very much for your support. We really appreciate it.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Lolita. When we return, dealing with GI, the New York Cable Association's in an uproar, and an editorial from Tom Burke, president of the USIA. Don't go away.
Well, hello there once again. This is Tom from Green Sheet. We've got a show for you tonight which follows Boresight News. Actually, it follows Yellow Rain about 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. And again on Sunday night about 10:15, again following Yellow Rain, Westar 5 Transponder 1. But I'm here right now to talk to you about the Gull radar detector that we're selling right now. All you need to do is call the operatives right now. $59. Get it. The code GUL-RD. Radar detector XNK band signals. Compact, inconspicuous design for the visor, dashboard installation, automatic warning design, LED lights indicates proximity to signal, automatic audio muting, amber LED monitors computer function. This is a microprocessor super heterodyne radar detector by Gull. It retails in the store for a little over $100. We've got it tonight for $59, and of course Sunday night for $59. Green Sheet, the show that brings you great quality prices and entertainment. Be there.
Welcome back. The following story is about one man's attempt to deal openly with General Instrument. Marty Mullen of Computer Tech Services has plans to market an affordable seed key extractor to be used for the purpose of archiving video cipher seed keys, which would then be easily replaced in the event of battery failure or other VC2 malfunctions. Mullen, wanting to offer this service legitimately and openly, called GI's Chief of Security, Terrence Luddy, explaining his product and asking for GI's position on seed key extractors. According to Mullen, Mr. Luddy told him that a key extractor in itself is not illegal, but if it's used for cloning, then it becomes part of an illegal act, thus it's illegal. Luddy also told Mullen that putting keys in a second VC2 in the same home is also illegal, although he could not name any legal precedent to back that up. After speaking with Luddy, Mr. Mullen decided to have his lawyer draft a letter outlining the intent of Computer Tech's seed key extractor and the sales policy, which mandates that each and every customer sign a notarized disclaimer stating that they are knowledgeable of the terms and conditions of the purchase and usage of the piece of equipment. The disclaimer further indicates that it's the responsibility of the consumer to conform to both federal, state laws and regulations concerning the use of the equipment. No word yet on Mr. Luddy's response to this letter, but we'll keep you posted. The New York Cable Association is not happy with that state's cable control legislation that's pending. Karen has the story.
According to an article in Multi-Channel News, New York State's assemblymen are not pleased with certain cable television-related activities, and they've introduced legislation to bring cable's actions more in line with the best interest of their communities. Of the 11 cable-related bills, these 5 indicate Assemblyman concerns over the growing dominance of cable in an unregulated and anti-competitive environment. The Assemblyman presented legislation which would direct cable not to require customers to subscribe to a specified number of services, mandate cable operators to provide a breakdown of rates per service on each monthly bill, prohibit cable operators from requiring subscribers to purchase or lease unnecessary equipment. It would prohibit cable operators from intercepting or monitoring customer phone calls, and the bills would direct cable to reimburse customers for interruptions in cable service lasting more than 6 hours. Other legislation introduced would deal with rate hikes, equipment deposits, securing subscriber privacy, and restricting the delivery of sexually offensive material. The New York State Cable Association is opposing that legislation. Passage of House Bill 2848 would answer the question on whether or not common carriers are allowed to scramble superstation signals. The bill would in fact enable carriers to scramble and market these distant signals to dish owners. So if the TVRO community supports the bill, there will be no grounds upon which to keep ad-supported TV in the clear. If the industry opposes it, companies like Netlink and satellite broadcast networks might be forced out of business, and dish owners as well as cable operators would have less channels at their disposal. Other concerns face TVRO interest groups, and the industry is divided on whether or not the bill deserves support. HSTA President Fred Finn said it can't be supported in its present form. As it stands, those who stand to gain are common carriers and cable operators.
The following is a guest editorial from USI President Tom Burke.
Good evening. I want you to remember something. Don't forget it. The Imperial Palace, Las Vegas, Monday and Tuesday, 6 p.m. Imperial Palace, Las Vegas, Monday and Tuesday, 6 p.m. That's where the USIA will be. The room will hold 600 people. I think we can get most of you in there, fellas. We want you there. Come to Las Vegas. Do not boycott the show just because they have refused to allow us our booth. They've returned the money. Mr. Sneringer wrote me a letter and said that he was returning the money, and good luck on the trade show that we were planning. Well, thank you, Rick. We weren't really planning a trade show. We'd mentioned the fact that it was possible for an organization to hold a dealer trade show, but we are going to plan a trade show now, a dealer trade show. Thank you for the good luck wishes. The SBCA, according to Satellite Times, they said the SBCA and STTI were concerned about the activities that USIA had planned on Sunday evening at the show. Originally, we were going to have a room there, a large room. We were going to have 2 panels of programmers and manufacturers. And how could they be concerned unless the programmers and the manufacturers did not want to ask the questions, or did not want to answer the questions that we were going to ask them? Who knows? They also stating in Satellite Times that one of the reasons where they were concerned was our position on piracy and our close association with known hackers. I don't know of any close association with known hackers. I would assume they were referring to Boresight because we're doing these editorials here. As I stated before, I think everyone's innocent of proven guilty, and the programmers control SBCA. What can you do about it? You fight them. But you have to have money. The dealers can't support that amount of money. We must have help. And yet we can't give up our integrity, and we can't give up dealership control. So we must put on a trade show so that manufacturers and distributors can assist us and yet still not gain control of our association. We must take charge of our own destiny, fellas. We've got to do it. It's imperative. We don't want you to deal in any illegal activities. That's not the purpose of the association. We're respectable satellite dealers. We want to continue to operate a professional business in our community as we've done for years. Come to Vegas. Come talk to us. Let's have your ideas. Imperial Palace, Monday and Tuesday, 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, 6 p.m., Imperial Palace. We'll be there. We want you there. Let's go all the way without the SBCA. And as my old buddy Tom Donahue out in Tucson, Arizona would say, not without a fight. Good night. See you next week. Thank you.
USIA President Tom Burke. It does not necessarily reflect the views of Boresight News or its staff. It's provided as a public service for satellite dealers who may be USIA members. There's been a lot of talk about organizing a satellite dealer trade show, but little has been done until recent developments forced us to take some action. Network Productions has tentatively booked the Kentucky Fair Exhibition Center in downtown Louisville for the purpose of holding a satellite dealer trade show. The dates have not been confirmed as of yet, but we're looking for some time in May for that show. At this time, there are 200 booths. The dimensions are 10 feet by 10 feet, and there are also 20,000 square feet outside the exhibition center for a dish farm or outside exhibitors. The Kentucky Fair Exhibition Center is a brand new facility. It's easily accessible to major highways and 5 minutes from the airport. Hotel rooms are available within the exhibition center, and you may be interested to know that there's no terrestrial interference in the area. We're going to have more details next week on Boresight, or when you drop in to see us in Vegas at Bally's. We're going to be there. I'll see you next week. Good night.
I know before we go on tonight to Green Sheet, which follows Boresight on this transponder, we've got an issue that we need to address. Actually, Sean, you need to address it. It concerns a program that is produced by Network Productions, which also produces Boresight News, called Yellow Rain, and you're intent on scrambling Yellow Rain while you sit here and in seminars and say that scrambling isn't necessarily the way of the C-band future, that you can have ad-supported TV and all of that. Why don't you explain why you are scrambling Yellow Rain?
Well, it's very simple, Karen. I wish it's a question of economics. Boresight costs a great deal of money to produce. Yellow Rain really doesn't, as we all know, but Boresight does. And if I'm going to keep Boresight on the air, I have to bring money in from someplace. Now, we've seen it's very obvious that we don't have any advertisers, and any advertisers that intend to come onto Boresight are told that they'll be ostracized from the industry. That's pretty evident, isn't it, from the USIA situation. So they have managed to keep advertising dollars from our program. Let's hope all of you come to the seminars or subscribe to the seminar, and that will give us some money to stay going. But Yellow Rain, besides the possibility of bringing us some revenue so that we can keep Boresight on the air, it will eliminate a problem we have that goes before the court right now. The court is being asked to adjourn Boresight from Yellow Rain from being on the air. They're trying to totally stop it based on the fact that it's in the clear and you people in the U.S. can see what's going on and may elect to subscribe to these services or buy chips or whatever, and therefore we're enticing you to steal. If we're scrambled, and those areas of the show that are controversial are blocked out from you people in the U.S., then they cannot do that. They can't go to the court and say, we're enticing you to steal, because we can say it's scrambled and you don't have it. If you are pirating it, well, I can't do anything about that. And I'm not saying you're going to be able to pirate it. I certainly don't think you will be. But if you are, they can't go to the court and say, well, there's people inside the U.S. are still seeing it because they're able to pirate it, because you're pirating GI, and GI hasn't elected to pull the boxes off the air, have they? So we don't have a problem there. What we do have a problem is what are we saying and what are we doing in front of the court system? And what we're doing and what we're saying, we're going to scramble Yellow Rain and block out areas that are illegal inside the U.S. And we're going to block them out. I can assure you that's happening. You lawyers for GI who want to run this tape to the court, you can forget about it. You'll see how effective we are at scrambling. So, that's it. It's twofold problem. First, I want to keep it on the air. I feel it's important for people to know what's going on. And two, I need to make money. And with another encryption system out there, a good encryption system that allows us to get pay-per-view services, allows us to get baseball, allows us to get movies that no one else is giving you, and certainly allows us to get events, concerts and comedy clubs and so on that aren't going out in Scramble or in the clear right now because of piracy and scrambling, and in the clear problem being that people don't get paid for the services. That's it. It's just there is a market here, and it should be served. And what better place to have it served, or people to have it served by, than somebody inside this industry? Why should it be served by someone that's outside this industry taking money from this industry? We demonstrate a track record of putting money back in this industry, and most people that come in here don't. That's why we should scramble it.
Well, I don't have any time left down here in Atlanta, so I'll turn it back over to you, Sean, for one more question I've got for you. The future of the C-band industry. Right now there's a lot of piracy out there, and people are getting a lot of programming for nothing. Obviously that can't go on. If it continues to go on, there may not be any programming. What is the position now? What should be the next move?
Well, Karen, the next move should be we should get people into the showrooms that want to buy satellite systems that don't know about piracy. It isn't our old customers that are pirating so much. It's the new customers. It's those new IRDs that are being pirated. Because customers that are coming into the showroom right now are those people that have heard about their friend that have a chip and want to steal. What we have to do is bring people into the showroom that don't know about piracy. Now, the GI ad campaign and SPCA ad campaign is obviously detrimental to that concept. It tells people there is scrambling, there is piracy, and there is theft. It's a shame. It really works counterproductive, and it's a shame they didn't recognize that, but they didn't. We have to get people into our showrooms. We can do that. Let's go to the seminar, or let's go to the trade show in Louisville. Let's take the proceeds and put it into some form of advertisement, whether it be mobile trucks that are going around the country explaining the virtues of satellite, or national advertising. Whatever we have the money for, let's do it. Let's get it together. We can get it together if we work together. We can work together in Louisville. Keep that money. Don't go to Vegas this week. Let's go to Louisville in May. Good night.
That is it for Boresight News this week. Thanks for being with us. I'm Karen Howes. Coming up next, we have Green Sheet, and we also have Yellow Rain. So stay with us, and we'll see you again next week.
Busted. Yes, the threat still is imminent. Yes, if you're a dealer and you've alienated one of your many, many customers, it's possible that customer may be turning you in because he's mad at you. I hope it's more possible that people out there are turning in all the people from cable companies and GI and senators and congressmen that aren't voting for the bill. Those are the people that should be turned in, not dealers that are trying to stay alive What's wrong with you people out there? Don't you understand what's going on? There's an effort, an incredibly intelligently thought out or accidentally thought out effort to drive the satellite dealer out of business. And after you look at all the facts, you cannot conclude anything to the contrary. Truth is that there isn't a single piece of positive press or positive advertisement or positive anything that makes the customer feel secure in doing business with the satellite dealer. That's dangerous, isn't it? We are undermining, because I consider myself part of this industry, and at this point, this industry is being represented by the SPCA, which is a grave mistake, isn't it? It's terribly grave, because those people are out there making everyone perceive that this industry is run by a bunch of hucksters. It's sad. Time to get rid of the scoundrels. How can we get rid of them? Very simply, we take away their money. Manufacturers give them money because they feel that they're doing them good, or they want to belong to something that can help them in front of Congress, and something that will hopefully promote the industry. Well, we all know they're not promoting the industry. How effective they are before Congress has been pretty evident to date. So why a manufacturer is giving the SPCA money is beyond my comprehension. Unless, of course, that manufacturer is Showtime, who's a big cable operator, who is HBO, who's a big cable operator, who is GI, who has to answer to all the big cable companies. Those are the guys that are giving SPCA money, and those are the guys that have a vested interest in it to make sure that you're out of business, you the satellite dealer, and you the satellite consumer. Well, you hopefully will have to run to them for programming and pay them for the programming, or just give up your dish altogether and wait for KU to come along. Well, it's time we all fought back, and we are, many of us. We are here, along with a lot of other people in this industry. We've elected to do our own trade show. Yes, in Louisville, which is the home of Churchill Downs, by the way, Louisville, Kentucky, we will be holding the first real industry seminar. I guess it really isn't. When Bob Cooper was holding them, it was a pretty good seminar then, and it was an industry seminar. Well, we're going to hold it again. We're going to go back to the basics. We're going to return to the earth. We're going to Louisville in May for a seminar and an entire trade convention that is going to address our issues, the satellite dealers' issues, that are going to help us make money in this industry. They're going to take the proceeds from this seminar, or this conference, as you may want to call it, and put it back into this industry. It's either going to be put back in the form of national advertising, or we put back in the form of putting a mobile trailers, I guess, on the road to promote satellite industry in schools and hotels and motels and shopping malls around this country. We could possibly come out of this thing with enough money to put 2 or 3 of those mobile shows on the road. Who knows how well it can be done. How well it can be attended will be up to us dealers to tell the manufacturers and the distributors, we want them at this show. We don't want them in Vegas. If they're already in Vegas, they shouldn't be there. They should be putting their money back in this industry and not giving it to the space in STTI. Who is STTI? STTI is one guy, Rick Snaringer, who takes the money, what's left, and puts it in his pocket, and then he puts it in his bank account. Rick Snaringer is a very rich man. He was rich probably before he got in this industry, but he's a lot richer since he's been here. What has he done for us? Hold a trade show. Doesn't take that money and puts it back in this industry. He puts it in his pocket. We need people to put the money back in the industry to promote the industry. That's what this trade show is going to do. We're going to go to Louisville and have our own show. We're not going to ban anybody. No matter who wants to be there, they can come and exhibit. $300 for inside space, outside space, oh, I don't know. Who knows? $100 for a booth outside, $75. Whatever it is, it'll be reasonable. Middle of May to the end of May, we're not positive of the date yet, to save you money, because that's where we're all going to be. And you dealers and you manufacturers and distributors should be there. Certainly you dealers will be. And call the manufacturer and distributor and tell them, if you support this industry, if you feel it's important that we stay alive, then you be at this trade show. Because this is our trade show. This is our show. This is the show that's going to promote this industry for us, not for cable, not for GI, and not for Rick Snaringer or anybody else. It's putting the money back in the industry. So, get the word out. It's our opportunity. So, stay tuned for Yellow Rain, because they have more things to say. And any deal that's been busted in the last couple of weeks, let us know. We need to hear from you to find out what's going on. We may have some help for you legally. So So let us know. Thank you. Hey, what's new? Some price erosion has occurred on the seed pulling technology. Before we get to that, let me tell you about an incredible deal we're making available to you out there right here at old Boresight. It is not a Boresight deal, it's a Sean Kenny deal, and you know how popular those things are. Get ready for this one. 2 deals. First deal, you have an 0181 board and you want to archive it and replace your battery, no problem. $100. $100. Your keys will be archived and your new battery will be installed. It's a flat $100. Send her in here to 262 Old New Brunswick Road, Piscataway, New Jersey, 08854 with a check for $100. Made payable to me, Sean Kenny, or you can make it to, no, make it to me, Sean Kenny. It's SHAUNKENNY for $100, and we will archive your seed keys for 0181 and replace your battery. Now, if you think that deal is incredible, well, you should, because the next deal is even more incredible. The next deal is really good. If you have an 010 board and you want to put 0181 keys in it, your own 0181 keys, so no one can come along and kill all the C4s and start recalling your old boards and not authorizing you for services because you're an 010 board, and they say, we'll send your board back because we want to make modifications to it. You're tired of hearing that nonsense, because when they get it back there, even if you have a socket, they're going to charge you $300 to make the modification. Forget it. You can have brand new 0181 keys installed in your 010 board. Yes, I don't care whether you got a socket, whether you got, I don't care what you've done to your board, provided it is still has keys in it. It doesn't even have to have keys anymore. The keys could be gone too, frankly. So as long as U5 and U7 and U24 are all still good, the board is in operational condition with keys and ID number. As long as it will work, we will load it with an 0181 number, your very own number. If you send us in a board that is cannot be set up, there will be a $25 charge. All right? But if you send in a board, you want your own 0181 numbers, your very own, because you want to start authorizing or whatever reason you want 0181 numbers, here you go. You can finally, if you have a clone board, you can now have your own ID number. Okay, fantastic. $300. $300, and you get an 0181 number, a new battery. We will not put sockets or anything else. We're restricted from doing that. So you'll get everything, all your 0181 stuff. Fantastic, for $300. It's not a clone. It's your number. You can authorize, you can do whatever you want. No one else is going to get this number. It's all yours. It's your own 0181 number, period. End of the discussion. If you just want an 0181 board and you want to exchange, no problem. You can have an 0181 board, and we'll just take your 010 board. No problem, $300. Either way you want to do it, it can be done. Okay? That's a pretty good deal. Now, there's some other good deals coming along. Spoke about price erosion on the seed pulling technology. John's Electronics right now is selling his basic package now, because he's been able to he took out some of the extras he was giving you because he felt some of you weren't going for it because you couldn't afford it. His basic package now, without any other technology, is $1,200. $1,200, and you can get John's Electronics technology, which is seed pulling technology. All right? Yes. Now, here's another piece of technology. This is from CTS, and this is $695. This is seed pulling technology as well for 0181. $695, and you, yes, lucky you, can have your own seed pulling. You can do your own archiving. You can do whatever. You can pull keys out. This is it. This is all you need to pull the keys out of 0181 technology. It's only $698 for seed pulling technology. Why is this less than John's? Because they're different technologies. They function differently. One may say one is better. One may say the other is better. I don't know, John's has been out there a long time, it's well proven. This one has been out for a couple, I guess a month or two now. It seems to work very, very well. They are totally different in the way they function. This one doesn't use very much of U7. It uses more of U19 and some of the other surrounding products. So you can have this right here, $695. Now, if you don't want to be messing with seed keys, you don't care about seed keys, you don't want to know about seed keys, you don't want to know about ID, then get Wizard. You people down in Mexico and out in the Caribbean and up in Canada that don't have the opportunity to subscribe to services but want services, you can load in what's called a working key. That's the key at the very end of the whole chain of events that takes care of place in the video cipher. Wizard takes care of it. You punch in Wizard, and magic, your VC2 is turned on. It's the only one that gets some of the channels. It gets certain channels that nobody else will get. It means punching in 28 numbers twice to do it, but you can do it. Now, the last thing up, you want to go to school, you want to become as smart as some of these great guys out there, these guys that really make things cook on the video cipher. You live outside the United States, feel free to go to this course. If you live inside the United States and you go to this course, when you come back and you use the technology, you'll be breaking the law. Now, I guarantee you, because the stuff he's showing you is definitely illegal inside the United States. However, it's totally backed up with EEPROM burners, with modem information, so whenever you get stuck, there's a whole bunch of information that God gives you. It's V-Cipher technology, and here's a tape explaining it.
Satellite dealers and VC2 resellers. Are you sending out your video cipher boxes to be fixed by others? Are you leaving a UPS or FedEx trail directly to your door? Think about it. And if you do, you should worry. Or you can worry no more. Become integrated like an IRD. Make all the profit and leave no trails. V-Cipher technology offers a package that makes you fully independent and self-reliant. And never, ever have your VC2s turned off again. We guarantee it. V-Cipher Technologies offers the video cipher technician, and even a non-technical person, the most complete package for repairs, cloning, and modifying video cipher ever offered. The package includes a chip disk with over 25 programs for cloning, utilities, and pay-per-view run chips, including the famous Doomsday chipset, which cannot be turned off. It operates on all old and new boards and gets SpaceNet 223, the previously unobtainable Telstar channel. The package includes full software tools such as disassemblers and simulators and full documentation. Full video cipher schematics, parts lists, and a complete description of how the VC2 works, plus secret inside information on the video cipher module itself. It includes a high-quality EEPROM burner which programs the appropriate EEPROMs in about 15 seconds. It includes a tube of 28-pin sockets and software on EEPROMs included. 2 sets of 0181 keys and 1 set of 0180 keys are included and are guaranteed to run for 1 year or they're replaced free of charge. You get several commented listings of the various U30 and U7 programs in the video cipher and a helpful tricks list on how to display on-screen messages and crack many of the video cipher chips. Full detailed instructions on how to remove epoxy for replacing U30 and a full day of actual training of all aspects of the video cipher with hands-on demonstrations of the all-important techniques from EEPROM burning to epoxy removal. You gain first-hand experience on a one-on-one basis for VC2 enhancement. For more information, call area code 514-451-5704. That's V-Cipher Systems. We're located in Montreal at area code 514-451-5704.
Well, before we go, we got to remind you, remember the guys that have the seed puller and seed loader? Yes. 0181 technology, pulling the keys and loading them all the way back to U7. All the other technology only goes back as far as U20. You dealers hopefully understand what I just said. Well, this technology goes all the way back to U7. It's $2,800, but allows you to write an 0181 key all the way back to U7, and it's the only product out there that does it. It's all yours for just, I don't know, $2,800? That's not so bad. Isn't so good. But remember, hey, a month ago we were paying $5,000 just for 1 set of keys. Now we can do that for nothing, practically. Bye. Welcome. This is Boresight News, and I'm Sean Kenny in New Jersey.
And I'm Karen Howes in Atlanta. What do we have for tonight on Boresight News? Well, hopefully we'll have some coverage of the SBCA STTI show that took place this week in Las Vegas. Sean, you were there. You weren't supposed to be. What happened? Were we allowed in?
Yes, Karen, we were indeed allowed in. Took a little time to do it, but Rick, I guess, gave in to those people that called on our behalf and said, well, I guess if all you people really want to see Boresight in the show, you win. You can have Boresight at the show, and 3 of us were allowed in with press credentials. However, we were not allowed in with our cameras. So what camera work you will see will be done without the knowledge of Mr. Snaringer, and there's not very much of it, I might add, just some on the outside, and some local people that were at the show were kind enough to shoot with their own video cameras, some things that they picked up at the show, and we want to thank those people as well. One interesting thing was that GI was allowed with their camera crew rather extensively, as was another company called VideoWorks, but so it goes.
So General Instruments, who isn't really known for its news coverage, was allowed into the trade show exhibit floor with the cameras, but Boresight wasn't. That's too bad. Anyway, we were there in person, and Michael's going to have an overview tonight on Boresight on what happened. We were allowed to have our cameras outside of there, so we might have some interviews that Michael will present to us. Well, USIA was there. I believe they were there. I think they were over at the Dunes. Give us an update on USIA, Sean. Any activity?
Well, first, Karen, they were there, but they were at the Imperial Palace. Last year was the Dunes. Activity, yes. The first night, I guess they had about maybe 150 people in the room for a discussion as to what people felt about the industry, mainly what Tom Burke felt about it. However, some people were allowed to comment. The second night was a much smaller crowd. I think they had things to do, probably about 50 people, of which 16, I believe, were members of USIA, or 13. Some joined. It was thankful that they did. After all, USIA does need membership. You dealers out there that want some representation, that want a voice in your industry. At this time, I would have to say the only place you're going to really get it is USIA, and I know some people will take exception of that. Those people belong to other associations. But the USIA is structured differently because you do indeed have one president that is trying to represent everyone, but you also have group leaders or regional leaders, as they're called, and you elect those regional people. There are 10 of them right now, and I suspect as it grows, there'll be more. And you dealers will have one person you can go to with your complaints and your wishes, and he will go on to the board and try to represent you. So I think the USIA, from a structural standpoint, is the best dealer association out there. And they will have further meetings. I understand the election is coming up in July, so if you're a member, you should be getting a ballot. I have a lot of problems with the USIA, but they're working on them. I'm sure we all have problems, but I think that from a standpoint of who can succeed, they can. They've got a good working group. And what else is happening? Hey, everything is happening, as you'll see in the rest of Boresight. So stay tuned. And Karen, you've got something else you want to say?
God, there certainly is a lot of politics in this industry. We can get back to more politics and what happened at the Space STTI show. We'll have some more comments at the close of Boresight. But right now, let's move into the news. Tonight we've got a feature covering the antitrust hearings of the Senate Antitrust Committee of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Mike will have an overview of the SBCA STTI show.
Don't buy this tape if you want to cheat the system. Buy it if you want to learn how the system works. This 2-hour video entitled VC2 Bible, the New Testament, explains how to recognize the symptoms of an ailing video cipher and how to treat them. The tape also introduces you to the newest software programs. Software that simulates the video cipher, software modification for the video cipher, and how to use your computer with the video cipher. For your 2-hour instructional New Testament, call 800-876-6121. In New Jersey, call 201-562-0080. Visa and MasterCard orders welcome. Or send check or money order to VC2 Bible, the New Testament, care of Network Productions, 262 Old New Brunswick Road, Piscataway, New Jersey, 08854. $39 plus $5 shipping and handling. We encourage all programmers to purchase this informational tape. Having your home wired for cable seems innocent enough,
until you realize that you've given up control of your television set to an unregulated monopoly. Your local satellite dealer offers the alternative that